This business about gold bar levels.
In this video, I'm going to go through some important foundational principles that you must understand in order to become a professional trader who is consistently profitable. Now, I'm not going to talk about every single aspect of mindset, but these are two very critical concepts that you must understand. Now, the issue a lot of traders have, and something I had in my own personal trading journey, was that I would learn a trading strategy, and then just by chance, if I were to win 3 winning trades in a row and then suffer my first loss, I would think that the strategy is broken, and I'd either try to tweak the strategy or I would go look for a new strategy. Right? But this is definitely the wrong approach, right? In terms of trading, we have to think with a probabilistic mindset. We have to ignore the individual outcomes of a trade. Whether your last trade is a winner or a loser does not matter. That does not factor into your professional mindset. Instead, you have to think about your trading over a series of 10, 20, or 30 trades. This will allow your edge to play out. So let me exemplify this. Imagine if you had a coin, a fair coin, that has heads on one side and tails on the other side. And if I asked you to flip that coin 4 times and I asked you to predict how many heads you would get, the majority of you would predict 2 heads out of the 4 flips. But it is possible that after flipping the coin 4 times, it actually hits tails 4 times in a row. That's how we have to understand trading. If, however, you were to flip that same coin 1,000 times, it's likely you'd get closer to 500 heads and 500 tails. This is exactly how we have to think about trading. We cannot think about the individual streaks of wins and losses and conclude that is the result or the effectiveness of our trading strategy. Instead, we must reduce the risk and have it at an acceptable level so that you can ride out those strings of losses which will happen under any trading system. But as long as you have enough bullets in the chamber, you can then be consistently profitable overall. This is the key. So what I would like to direct you to is Mark Douglas's book, Trading in the Zone. Within this lecture series, if you go to the mindset chapter, there are also some lectures from Mark Douglas there. Right, Mark Douglas has some amazing gems in there, but I think the biggest takeaway is you have to get to a level where you ignore the individual outcomes of a trade, right? Because it doesn't matter what your trading strategy is. So let's say the golden bullet does give you an entry and you are holding the trade and it looks like an A+ setup and then you stop loss. It does not mean that strategy is broken. Right? The market and the algorithms that are run are complicated. Even though a particular algorithm is running, such as the golden bullet, another algorithm may take over. Maybe a higher time frame algorithm or even a time-based algorithm. For that reason, you cannot bet 100% of your account on one trade. You bet a small enough amount so that you can ride out those random losses that you have and allow you to be consistently profitable over the long term. So what I recommend you do in order for your edge to play out, if you are doing something like a funded challenge where you have a 10% drawdown, I recommend you only risk 0.5% per trade. That gives you 20 consecutive losses to pass this challenge. Right? Even if you have 4 or 5 losses in a row, that shouldn't affect you too much mentally, because in the grand scheme of things, that's not going to dig you such a hole that you can't get out of. But you'll be able to weather that string of losses, and then when your edge starts playing out, you can then be consistently profitable over the long term. This is key. Now, the second concept is ensuring you understand that this game is all about asynchronous steady returns over the long term. Now, what does this mean? The problem with social media is that typically the trades that get all the eyeballs and all the clicks and that go viral are the 40 RR trades, the 20 RR trades, the 10 RR trades, right? And that sets unrealistic expectations that as a professional trader, this is what we can do. You take one trade, risk $100, and then it's 100-to-1 trade and you can buy a car at the end of it. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. What I learned from analyzing top traders in the industry was you have to have a strategy that is basically a delicate dance between the win rate and the RR to be consistently profitable over the long term, right? And I really internalized this when I analyzed Paladin and Jade Cap's trading history. So if you look at Paladin's trades, which may not be publicly available anymore, over the series of trades that I analyzed, his average RR was 2. Not 40, not 20, not 10. He always TP'd at 2 RR, and his win rate was 50%, right? A 50% win rate with a 2 RR strategy is wildly profitable, right? We do not need 90% win rate strategies with 10 RR, right? They just, sadly, I don't think they exist, right? You just need a slight edge in your favor when combined with the RR makes you consistently profitable over the long term. I also analyzed Jade Cap's MyFX book, and over the 99 trades that he took, his average RR was 1.95. And of those 99 trades, his win rate was 62%. Now, 62% and a 1.95 RR strategy is wildly profitable. And Jade Cap has taken over $1 million of funded payouts so far, right? This really helps us to understand what profitable traders are actually achieving, right? You don't need a wild strategy. And this is exactly how I designed the golden bullet. The golden bullet is algorithmic in nature, and the TP level that I have set that you will learn about later in this course is one that is hit frequently. The RR is a realistic target. It's not a target that's only going to hit 5% of the time, right? It's algorithmically defined to be hit frequently. As long as you have the right entry and it's a golden bullet, right, it will hit frequently. Your job is then just to get to something like a 50% win rate and you are wildly profitable. And I have provided the tools in this course so that you can get there, right? But the key point of this slide is to ignore the outcome of an individual trade and instead log your trades and think about your trading success over 10, 20, or 30 trades. You have to allow your edge to play out. Secondly, it's not about those massive RR wins. It's about incremental gains over the long term with a strategy that has the right delicate dance between win rate and RR to be consistently profitable over the long term and to steadily grow your account.